Hello students. Next example. Find the basis for column space of A consisting of column vectors of A, where A equal to 1, 2, 0, 2, 5, minus 2, minus 5, 1, minus 1, minus 8, 0, minus 3, 3, 4, 1, 3, 6, 0, minus 7, 2. Hence, find dimension of column space of A. First, write down the given matrix 1, 2, 0, 2, 5, minus 2, minus 5, 1, minus 1, minus 8, 0, minus 3, 3, 4, 1, 3, 6, 0, minus 7, 2. Now reduced it into row echelon form with suitable row operations. First row operation R2 plus 2R1, next R4 minus 3R1. First two row as it is, first and third row as it is, we get 1, 2, 0, 2, 5. Second row becomes 0, minus 1, 1, 3, 2. Third row as it is. Last row become 0, 0, 0, minus 13, minus 13. Next row operation is R3 minus 3R2. First, second and fourth row as it is, only changes take place in third row. So, resultant matrix is 1, 2, 0, 2, 5, 0, minus 1, 1, 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, minus 5, minus 5, and last row becomes 0, 0, 0, minus 13, minus 13. Next row operation is 5R4 minus 13R3. So first three row as it is, 1, 2, 0, 2, 5, 0, minus 1, 1, 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, minus 5, minus 5, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now observe the pivot entries. First, second, third. Means pivot entries occurs in first, second and third column. So basis of column space of A is nothing but the first, second and fourth column of given matrix. So basis of column space of A equal to first column of matrix A, similarly second and fourth column. 2, minus 1, 4, minus 7. First, second and fourth column. Therefore, dimension of column space of A equal to number of vectors in the basis, nothing but the 3. So dimension of column space of A equal to 3. Next example, find the dimension of null space of A, column space of A, where A equal to 1, 0, 0, 4, 7, 0, minus 1, 0, 0. Here you can see that pivot entries occurs in first and second column. So basis of column space of A equal to first and second column of given matrix, because it is similar to row echelon form of this matrix. That means you cannot need to convert it into row echelon form. So basis of column space of A is nothing but the first and second column of given matrix. So dimension of column space of A equal to 2. Now here pivot entries occurs in first and second column, means there is only one free variable, which is third free variable, and dimension of null space of A is nothing but the number of free variables. So there is one free variable means x3, x1, x2, x3. Therefore, dimension of null space of A equal to 1. And next, some results in the form of theorems. First, if S equal to V1, V2 and so on Vn is a set of n linearly independent vectors in an n-dimensional vector space, then S is a basis for V. Next theorem, it means if S contains n linearly independent vectors in an n-dimensional vector space, then S is a basis for V. And next theorem is if S equal to V1 bar, V2 bar and so on Vn bar is a set of n vectors, that span an n-dimensional space, V, then S is a basis for V. हे थेरम काय सांगताय, जर तुमचा व्हेक्टर स्पेस n डायमेन्शनल व्हेक्टर स्पेस असेल, म्हणजे त्याची डायमेन्शन ही फायनाईट असेल, तर तेव्हा तुम्ही सेट हा लिनियरली इंडिपेंडंट म्हणून चेक केला तरी चालेल किंवा फक्त स्पॅन म्हणून चेक केला तरी चालेल. दोन्ही चेक करायची गरज नाही. तो सेट लिनियरली इंडिपेंडंट पाहिजे किंवा स्पॅन पाहिजे हे दोन्ही चेक करायची गरज नाही. एक एक चेक केलं तरी चालेल. पण केव्हा शक्य आहे, जेव्हा तुमचा व्हेक्टर स्पेस n डायमेन्शनल असेल तेव्हाच. Now next theorem says that if S equal to V1 bar, V2 bar and so on VR bar is a linearly independent set, in an n-dimensional space, V and R is less than n, then S can be enlarged to a basis for V. Then S can be enlarged to a basis for V, capital V. Now next point, linear transformation. We have already seen some points in same first of linear transformation. First definition of linear transformation is a linear transformation T from a vector space V into a vector space W is a rule that assign to each vector x in V a unique vector T of x in W such that means T mapping V to W. The meaning of this theory is nothing but the T mapping V to W. A linear transformation T from a vector space V into a vector space W is a rule that assign to each vector x in V a unique vector T of x in W such that first T of u plus V equal to T of u plus T of V for all uv belongs to V, and second T of C into u equal to C into T of u for all u belongs to V and all scalars C. Then we can say that T is a linear transformation from vector space V to vector space W. Next, remark the kernel or null space of T, that is kernel of T equal to set of u belongs to V such that T of u equal to 0. Now, property for kernel of T is kernel of T is a subspace of V. Proof: suppose T mapping V to W is a linear transformation, and kernel of T is nothing but the u belongs to V, set of u belongs to V such that T of u equal to 0. Now to show that kernel of T is a subspace of V, that is to show that by definition of subspace kernel of T is not equal to 0 means it is non-empty. First. Second, if UV belongs to kernel of T, then U plus V also belongs to kernel of T. And last, C belongs to R and U belongs to kernel of T, then C into U also belongs to kernel of T. Now first, 0 can be written as 0 plus 0. Now apply T on both sides. T of 0 equal to T of 0 plus 0. But T is a linear transformation, so by definition of linear transformation T of U plus V equal to T of U plus T of V. Therefore T of 0 plus 0 is T of 0 plus T of 0, which implies T of 0 minus T of 0 equal to T of 0 implies T of 0 equal to 0, implies 0 belongs to kernel of T, because here we get T of 0 equal to 0, and by definition of kernel of T U belongs to V such that T of U equal to 0. We get T of 0 equal to 0, that means 0 belongs to V, also 0 belongs to kernel of T. So 0 belongs to kernel of T, that is kernel of T is non-empty. Second, let UV belongs to kernel of T, UV belongs to kernel of T and kernel of T is nothing but T, U belongs to V such that T of U equal to 0. U and V belongs to kernel of T means T of U equal to 0, also T of V equal to 0. T of U equal to 0 and T of V equal to 0. Now to show that U plus V belongs to kernel of T, that is to show that T of U plus V equal to 0. If we get T of U plus V equal to 0, then we can say that U plus V belongs to kernel of T. First take left hand side T of U plus V. T is a linear transformation, so we can write T of U plus T of V, since T is linear transformation. But T of U and T of V is 0, so put these values, we get 0, which implies T of U plus V equal to 0, that is U plus V belongs to kernel of T. Next, C belongs to R and U belongs to kernel of T. Here we want to show that C into U belongs to kernel of T, that is to show that T of C into U equal to 0. First take left hand side T of C into U, and T is a linear transformation, so we can write C into T of U, since T is linear transformation. C into T of U is 0 because U belongs to kernel of T, which implies T of U equal to 0. So C into 0 equal to 0. Here we get T of C into U equal to 0, which implies C into U belongs to kernel of T. Now from 1, 2 and 3, from 1, 2 and 3, and by definition of subspace, kernel of T is a subspace of V, Next, range of T. The range of T is the set of T of X belongs to W such that X belongs to V. Thus, range of T is a set of all images point of T. That means, just a minute, if we take linear transformation T mapping V to W, then range of T, nothing but the images set of T, that is T of X belongs to W such that X belongs to V. X belongs to V, T of X belongs to W, and range of T means the set of all images of W. T of X belongs to W such that X belongs to V. Next property. Range of T is a subspace of W. Proof. Range of T is T of X belongs to W and X belongs to V, where T mapping V to W. First write T mapping V to W is a linear transformation. Now to show that range of T is a subspace of W. First, range of T is non-empty as 0 belongs to range of T, because it is the image of a 0 in V under T. T of 0 equal to 0, because T of 0 equal to 0. Now let give as equation number 1. Now let W1, W2 belongs to range of T. Then by definition W1 equal to some T of X1 and W2 equal to some T of X2. जर तुमचा W1, W2 रेंज ऑफ T मध्ये असेल म्हणजेच त्याला काहीतरी प्री इमेज असेल T of X1, T of X2 in the form of for some vectors X1, X2 in V. Now we have X1 plus X2 belongs to V because V is a vector space, which implies T of X1 plus X2 equal to T of X1 plus T of X2. Since T is a linear transformation, T of X1 is W1, T of X2 is W2, which implies we get W1 plus W2 equal to T of X1 plus X2, implies W1 plus W2 belongs to range of T. Give as equation number 2. Next, C into X1 belongs to V for some scalar C and X1 belongs to V. Now apply T on C into X1, we get C into T of X1. Since T is a linear transformation, so C into W1, because T of X1 is W1. Here we get C into W1 equal to T of C into X1, which implies C into W1 belongs to range of T. Give as equation number 3. आता इथे तुम्ही बघू शकता रेंज ऑफ टी तुम्हाला सबस्पेस दाखवायचं आहे, त्यासाठी आपण आधी काय घेतलं, लिनियर ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन घेतलं, टी मॅपिंग व्ही टू डब्ल्यू. नेक्स्ट रेंज ऑफ टीची डेफिनेशन राईट केली. डेफिनेशन काय, टी ऑफ एक्स बिलॉंग्स टू डब्ल्यू सच दॅट एक्स बिलॉंग्स टू व्ही. नाउ टू शो दॅट रेंज ऑफ टी इज अ सबस्पेस ऑफ डब्ल्यू, दॅट इज टू शो दॅट रेंज ऑफ टी इज नॉट इक्वल टू 5 means non-empty, and next take two elements of range of T, then show that their addition also belongs to range of T. Here we take two elements from range of T, W1, W2, and so W1, W2 belongs to range of T, so W1 in the form of T of X1, W2 in the form of T of X2 for some vectors X1, X2 in V. Now here V is vector space and X1, X2 belongs to V, so their addition also belongs to V. Now apply T on X1 plus X2, but T is a linear transformation, so T of X1 plus T of X2. and T of x1 is w1, T of x2 equal to w2. So w1 plus w2 equal to we get T of x1 plus x2. आपण w1 w2 रेंज ऑफ टी मधले घेतले. आता आपल्याला ते कशात दाखवायचे, त्यांची ॲडिशन आपल्याला रेंज ऑफ टीमध्ये दाखवायची. जर त्यांची ॲडिशन आपल्याला रेंज ऑफ टीमध्ये दाखवायची म्हणजे ते आपल्याला कशाच्या फॉर्ममध्ये दाखवायला लागेल, टी ऑफ x1 प्लस x2च्या. ते आपण इथं दाखवलं, w1 प्लस w2 इक्वल टू टी ऑफ x1 प्लस x2. सो w1 प्लस w2 बिलॉंग्स टू रेंज ऑफ टी. अँड नेक्स्ट c into x1 belongs to V because x1 belongs to V and c is a scalar and V is a vector space. That's why c into x1 belongs to V. Now apply T on c into x1, then we get c into w1. So c into w1 belongs to range of T. So by 1, 2 and 3 and by definition of subspace, range of T is a subspace of W. Here we stop.